because Nicola was clearly having a hard time there.
Bless her, but you know what? She does try, and you got to give it to her. Even I was trying, like I wasn't that great. Hair, makeup, and costume, like probably 2 hours. Like an hour and a half in hair and makeup. Oh, I wish. I was thinking about it, but then I was just like, no, like what happens if Netflix finds out and then they fire me? I wish I took a costume. I wish I took a dress. But that would have been
Yeah.
really confused. They would have seen me get into my car stealing a dress. It's the biggest TV show on Netflix. Like you can who would say no to that? Growing up in the UK, like I never got to see myself on screen.
Will we also see you collaborating with Shoojit Sircar anytime soon after doing two fabulous films with him?
That would be my dream. I love working. Like when I tell you, I just love working with Shoojit sir. For me, I really did find therapy helped, and I think it's always something that I'll live with, but it's something which now is a lot more manageable because I'm able to identify symptoms.
Hi, Banita. Welcome to News 18.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I love you guys.
How are you?
I'm great, thank you. How are you?
All good, Banita. To start with, please tell me about this video that's going viral. All of you, the whole cast of Bridgerton dancing to Beyonce's Coughlan. I mean, we cannot get over it. Tell me, how did it come together?
It was actually one of my last days on set. It was
Hmm.
during so we were shooting like a big ballroom scene and there's a lot of like waiting around for them to set up and stuff. And I think it just gets to a point when, like all the cast were in the waiting room and like we were like, okay, like let's get off our phones, let's like do something fun. And like one of our co-stars, Caleb, he's like a really good dancer. So we were just like for fun doing dance routines just to like kind of pass the time. And then like, it was like three of us and then more people joined and more people joined. And then before you knew it, we were doing the Cuff It Challenge by Beyonce on the stairs.
But it was so cool. It was really cool. Tell me, who do you think is the best dancer? Because Nicola was clearly having a hard time there.
Bless her, but you know what? She does try, and you got to give it to her. Even I was trying, like I wasn't that great, but I mean, Claudia just like she stole the show, and Claudia
Absolutely.
was up there, and like she was in like every rehearsal we were doing, and she was like, she is just such good energy on set. It's no wonder like it comes through in her dance moves.
Absolutely. Before I get into this interview, I just have a few basic questions as a fan, which I want you to, just answer. How
Okay.
long does it take for, let's say, you to get in under the skin of the character, like the hair, the makeup, all of that? How long does it take?
I mean, it differs from character to character. Obviously, Bridgerton, it's like a big hair and makeup show. So that would be hair, makeup, and costume, like probably 2 hours. Like an hour and a half in hair and makeup, and then like a good half an hour for costume because there's so much detailing that goes into it, like the accessories, the bags, what earrings you're gonna wear, your headpiece, if it works with the wig that you're wearing. So I would say like an hour and a half to 2 hours. But then for like a movie that released recently of mine, Mother Teresa and Me, that was like no makeup, like a lot of my movies. Basic hair, so like hair and makeup wouldn't be more than like 45 minutes, like max.
Wow. And did you like take away any costume from the set of Bridgerton back home?
Oh, I wish. I was thinking about it, but then I was just like, no, like what happens if Netflix finds out and then they fire me? Like, I don't know why like I'm such a, like, a goody two shoes in that sense. That like I did have a thought, but I was too scared to take anything. I wish I I wish I took a costume. I wish I took a dress. But that would have been
Yeah.
really confused. They would have seen me get into my car stealing a dress.
All right. Okay. Okay. So, Banita, of course, it's a big, proud moment for us to actually see you. And of course, there's Simon Ashley there, as part of this franchise that has become, so big globally. But Banita, the one conversation that everybody is having is that, the fact that Banita has a limited screen time. Now, I'm sure you have read those conversations up. What was your first thought like when, you became a part of this show?
I mean, it's the biggest TV show on Netflix. Like you can who would say no to that if they're like inviting you to come be on set and like work with this amazing team and dress up in these beautiful costumes and be a part of a Shondaland production? Like you would be stupid to say no to that. And it's like I feel like you just like put your ego to the side and like just like I was just so grateful to be a part of that production that it wasn't a case of like, oh, it's limited. Like it's there were so many bonuses that came out of that that I've always said from the beginning of my career, I would rather have a smaller role in something that's great than a large role in something that's rubbish. And I just like this is like it's the biggest show on Netflix. You know what I mean? Like it's yeah, like it was a no-brainer. Like it's Bridgerton. Like I was such a huge fan of the show. Like as a fan, just to get onto the sets and to meet everyone and like read all of the scripts for the next season and be there was just like it was like a dream come true, honestly. So yeah.
Banita, tell me, how did you really become a part of this show?
So I was on holiday with my family and I got a call like to audition for the show and did the audition and then 2 days later my agent was like, you got the part, you need to come back to London. So I left my family abroad and came back and I was in costume trials, like very, the whole process was very, very quick. That's one thing I definitely do remember.
Yeah, how lovely. Great. So back in India also, do you audition like on a regular basis?
In India, it's less auditioning, if I'm being honest. I'm
Hmm.
very lucky to be in a position where I do just have direct offers coming. But there have been a few people who have asked to audition, and I'm more than happy to. So I have auditioned in India like a few times actually. But I would say it's definitely more prevalent in the West. Like you audition for everything.
Absolutely. Coming back to Bridgerton, Banita, the one conversation that has been happening since season one is how inclusive the show is, in terms of, your gender orientation, in terms of the country that an actor really comes from. Of course, this season we also get a hint of the gender fluidity, in Benedict's character, maybe a little bit of that in Francesca's character. When you are a part of a show like this, that's making a statement like this so subtly. Uh,
Mhm.
how special do you think it is?
I mean, it's so important because like growing up in the UK, like I never got to see myself on screen and then to now juxtapose that to being on a set with so many different people from different ethnicities was wonderful just for me as an actor and then as a viewing experience for the audience to feel like more of a connection and being able to relate to what you see on screen, I just think is like probably one of the best things to have happened in this industry, if I'm being honest.
Just take us through a day on the set of Bridgerton. What happens right from the morning till you wrap up?
So it depends. Either we're doing like a day shoot, so you start early in the morning, you get picked up at like anywhere from 4 to 5 a.m. You get to set, you're in hair and makeup, you're kind of on set shooting by around 8 or 9 a.m. Or if you're doing a night shoot, it's like you get picked up around 4, 5 p.m. and then you're shooting throughout the night. And by the time you wrap, it's around like very early hours of the morning.
Wow. And is it tough shooting, for the balls, the dances? They're very different from the usual ones.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's tough. It definitely takes a lot of time. Like I would say the ballroom scenes I was a part of could have been anywhere from like 3 to 6 days, depending on which scene it was. Honestly, it takes around a week because there's just so many little snippets of conversation that are happening, and like obviously there's continuity, so you kind of have to stay in your place. But it just feels like it's I love doing the ballroom scenes because that's when like everyone was on set and it was just like such a great camaraderie between like the cast and the crew. So yeah.
Right. But tell me honestly, who according to you is, or who is a favorite couple in Bridgerton? Like as
Ooh,
an audience.
as an audience. I mean, oh, no, I
That's
can't answer. I can't. I know, no, no, I can't answer it. It's
a
so
tough
hard.
one. It's a tough
Yeah.
one, I'm sure.
And
Yeah.
I know, like, no, yeah, it's very personal.
All right, not a problem. Okay, Banita, on a slightly different note, of course, you're doing G2, Gudjari 2 back in India. And I don't know, maybe it's too early for you to talk about it, but you wrapped up the shoot, right?
No, I'm still shooting actually.
Oh,
Um, we finished the schedule, I want to say like a month and a half ago, and now we're starting a new schedule soon.
okay, lovely. But how is that going on with Adi Vishesh? I mean, he's such a incredible actor, I think. How was that experience like?
I haven't, I'm starting my schedule with him in soon. Sorry.
Okay, that's great. But will we also see you collaborating with Shoojit Sircar anytime soon after doing two fabulous films with him?
That would be my dream. I love working, like when I tell you, I just, oh, love working with Shoojit sir. I think I've worked with him 3 times. And like he really was there at the beginning of my career, and we've done like incredible projects together. And I know he's working on a couple things right now, so maybe once he's done with those, hopefully like we'll have a chance to work together again soon.
I remember speaking to you just after the release of Sardar Udham, and
Oh.
we had a very nice chat about, you spoke about, mental health and the importance of it, and the fact that you battled, depression, and yeah, and you emerged strong out of it. How is it better today? Do you think you can, navigate the highs and the lows better today, even as an actor?
Yeah, I think it takes time. It takes a lot of investment into learning about yourself and learning about your condition. For me, I really did find therapy helped, and I think it's always something that I'll live with, but it's something which now is a lot more manageable because I'm able to identify symptoms very early on, and I know what I can do to counteract them. I know what I can do now to help make myself feel better. I know to give myself kindness if I am going through a low, and know that this isn't going to be forever. Like I've come out of it before, and it's I think it's just like an ongoing process, if I'm being honest. There are months or like time periods where I feel amazing and I feel great, and then sometimes it can just very like slowly creep up on you, and then you have to like mentally check in with yourself and be like, okay, what can I do to make myself better? It's okay that I'm feeling this way. Don't beat yourself up about it. And like I know these things can be as simple as taking a walk outside in the morning, for me, I lose my appetite when I feel depressed, so it's like trying to feed myself and give myself energy, being around people I love, different things, seeking help, seeking therapy, knowing that those things can actually help and it's not the end of the world and you are not going to live with this forever. I think is something that's so important to keep reminding yourself, because sometimes you get into a pit and it can really, really feel inescapable. And I think for me, it's been almost 8 years. And I think over time you get more confident and comfortable with the fact that things are going to be okay because you've come out of it before, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. No, but more power to you. Looking forward to what you bring to us audiences next. And good luck to you.
Thank you so much. You too. Hopefully I get to meet you in India soon.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.